Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Market Mastery. You are with your host, Kyle Sagal. And today we're going to go through a quick market update because there's some interesting price action happening at the moment. And I think if we do break out of the most recent levels of resistance, there is potentially quite large upside on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and obviously the altcoins will follow. So just want to highlight what to watch out for and the positions that I'm taking if that happens. So at the moment, we've had a really nice breakout of this accumulation pattern, which is basically, in the most basic form, is a ascending triangle, right? But it's come from a downtrend, so we need to be careful that this doesn't come back into this range and start trading below 44 or really 45k, right? So anything that does like this, right, we want to be getting out of the market because we're expected to at least test this trend line through here and potentially most likely break that, right? So the thing that we want to see, which has happened so far, is this happen when we get a really nice reaction off the top of this triangle, right? Which is basically telling us at the moment that this looks like an accumulation range and we've had a breakout of that. And now we've come back and we're having what's called a backup action to retest the previous resistance level and flip that into support, right? And then generally what happens is, you get some sort of a rounding structure from here and then you break out and push to the upside. And that sort of leads you into your markup phase, which is the strong rally that we want to make sure that we're participating in and capturing those gains. So at the moment, things are looking pretty good. It's not as strong as what I would have hoped for, but we have to understand that the market is definitely becoming more advanced. So maybe we don't get those big pop breakouts of these accumulation ranges anymore that just pop up and then run straight up. Sort of like what this one did, just ran, what was it? 40%, had a small pullback and then just ran again another 38%. I mean, this would be a nice little run, only 24%. But nothing crazy after the breakout of the range high, right? So we've had the pullback, really nice daily pin bar here, and then we've rejected a couple of times once we got back to this lower time frame range. We're going to take a look at that in a second. But at the moment, the most important things to take notice of, this big purple line through here is actually the yearly pivot, which is very important level. And that takes in basically, it's a calculation of the previous price action from the past year. And then it puts in a whole heap of key levels, being the pivot, resistance 1, resistance 2, et cetera, and support levels as well. And those levels usually do get respected by price, especially on the high time frames, because it's a year long. This pivot goes for an entire year, right? So that's going to get respected by price. We're seeing that action happening at the moment. So breakthrough and flip of the yearly pivot is going to be quite bullish for the rest of the year's price action, right? The other thing that's really important as well is this red line that's running through here. That's the daily 200 moving average, right? And flipping that is always an indication that the market is bullish and definitely can hold price down. And this is one of the reasons why, we probably saw a bit of selling up here as well. So it's not just the yearly pivot. We've got the confluence for the 200 MA as well, holding price down. And it looks like we're just flagging out here, which was kind of expected when we started to struggle and put these candles in with the rejection wicks on top, right? So now what we want to see after this nice daily bullish hammer here, we want to see continuation to the upside and break out of here. Now let's go look down on the lower time frames so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here it is with a different view, if that's easier to look at. But here we'll have a look on the hourly time frame. Now, the biggest issue that we've had is this key 1 hour order block through here at 47K down to 46,800, right? And that was resistance for quite some time. We broke down from that and it was quite a vicious sell-off. And you can see as soon as we tagged the 4 hour oversold levels, we started to get a really strong rally out of that as well. And we pushed all the way back up to retest that nice 5-6% rally. So it's a good sign that when price comes back down to the 4 hour RSI being oversold, that we're rallying pretty much straight away. that's always a bullish indication, because you only really get that sort of price action. We get reaction to the oversold RSI on the 4 hour when you're in an uptrend, when the price is actually bullish. It's another confirmation to me that we actually are fairly bullish, and there's a lot of people interested to buy at the moment. There's a bit of FOMO buying whenever there's a dip, when there's an opportunity. This isn't coming down and rolling over, and giving us like 5, 6, 7 bull divs in a row. That's the sort of action you get on those divergences when the market is quite bearish, right? So what we're looking for here now is we've come back up and we've tagged this 1 hour order block as well, which has been an extremely strong level through here. Multiple touches on the underside. Here is support, multiple touches here, as well as resistance. And we're just rejecting from it one more time. I thought there might have been a chance that we would break through, but this has been a nice little run on the 1 hour time frame, about 3% straight up. So we're still chopping sideways. What we can expect now is probably see something like this. And I'm sort of looking for maybe this level through here to hold, and we get this type of price action. Because usually when you get these triangle type patterns, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you run. And sometimes the 5th touch of the triangle doesn't come all the way down, especially when the market's quite bullish and there's a lot of people watching the trade, looking for a setup, looking for an entry. I did actually buy this candle here earlier in the day. I put a couple of Bitcoin on that at the moment. So in nice little profit there at the moment, but it looks like this probably isn't going to just break straight out. So in my opinion, most likely this is either going to flag like this and then break up, or we're going to get a pullback into this sort of mid-range support through here. And then I'd like to see a rally off there. I don't want to see come back down here. Then you got a possibility of a backside retest of this trend line through here and roll over, right? That'll be getting a little bit concerned, wanting to hedge, moving more towards risking off. I want to see price come down into this really nice support level through here, had multiple touches on that, and then really strong reaction break up, possibly a throwback. Sometimes you get that sort of throwback if the market makers or whoever's in control of the market wants to be really dirty, or somebody didn't quite finish filling their bags before the move up. But I would much rather just come back here and then a strong push up, bull flag, and then go again. That would be the perfect picture to see this, to expect more upside. So that's a 1 hour chart that's sort of playing out at the moment. And of course, Ethereum is looking very similar. Now, the only differences are on the daily timeframes here on Bitcoin. We can see we've put this really nice entry candle in here. Excuse me, this one here. And then this candle here as well is quite bullish because we had a sell off and then it's been bought back up. But sometimes when you see a candle that looks like this one, it ends up rolling over on the next candle. So we don't want to see a red candle similar to this one here, because then that sort of looks like, it's a potential shooting star reversal setup, right? It's not the most bearish type. The most bearish are obviously the ones that have the big wicks out the top and then price comes back down, like this one here or this one here, right? It's not that bad. It's not one of those. So don't have to be too afraid. Sometimes these are just a signal that prices dumped off during that day and then it got bought back up, right? So what I'm really focusing on here is the 1 hour time frame and what happens on that. I think that's the key to this daily coming up and seeing what price action happens. So basically for me, above 47K, I think is going to be price action is going to be looking really good. And we're looking for more upside. And I think once we do get that breakout, there's a lot of potential this could really run quite nicely. Because if we look here, I really do believe that this could get a rally up to maybe 54 or even the 56K power blocks through here, right? If you look at the ETH chart as well, sorry, wrong chart. If we look at the Ethereum chart as well, you can see we're just getting over the 200 daily moving average, but it's got the same candle in there. This one's a little bit more bearish because we've got the red pin bar here. That's not the green one. Even though it doesn't matter a whole heap, this looks more like a potential type top setup as well. I'll go and show you on this chart. It's a little bit easier to look at. There's a bit of bearish divergence in here. Nexus indicator is giving us indication that there's possibly a daily sell-off coming in. So we could see ETH BTC actually pull back. I've drawn this one recently in one of the other videos, I think, to come back and retest this important level through here. So that could be a possibility that ETH has a little bit of a pullback while Bitcoin pushes and then it ends up rallying and pushing all the way back up to 0.086, the ETH BTC chart, that is, while Bitcoin has its breakout. That's a possibility that could happen while ETH sort of flags and takes a little bit longer to build up. So that's the main thing I'm watching for at the moment. On the lower time frames, like the 4-hour, Ethereum is looking a lot more bullish than Bitcoin, and it's obviously making higher highs, while Bitcoin is sort of, still stuck around it's stuck underneath here, right? Sort of chopping around through here. So sometimes that's not a great sign when Ethereum makes a higher high and Bitcoin makes a lower high, right? But other times as well, it can just be an indication that Ethereum is actually leading the market and dragging Bitcoin with it instead of the other way around. So with while we're on DXY, I'll just show you guys here. There's a really nice bull flag on this, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens if that breaks the upside. I don't think it's going to really have that much of an impact on the crypto markets. So there's nothing too much to worry about there. But I would expect the DXY probably to continue higher. But yeah, that's a whole nother video. Keep watching the dominance market cap here. As you can see, there's a little uptick at the moment, so we might see Bitcoin's been losing ground for the last week and a bit, right? So maybe we see alts just get a little bit back on Bitcoin, come back up to here, and then it rolls over again, right? And it's really key to watch this level through here, because if that breaks, I think we could end up seeing something really, really crazy like this altcoin rally that we had last year. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. If you have any questions, let me know. With the rest of altcoins, things like Solana, FTT, all the rest of the DeFi coins, there's definitely potential for a pullback, but I think the key to trading any of those at the moment, some of them are just flagging out and chopping sideways. Let's quickly have a look if I can find it. Solana, right, had a really nice strong rally, and it looks to me like it just wants to go sideways, have a little bit more of a pullback, maybe pull back to 117, right? The DeFi coins, very much the same, right? After the breakout from this really nice falling wedge. If we can find support on those, and Bitcoin and Ethereum both get their breakout while these sort of have a little bit of a pullback, they'll probably get dragged up with them anyway. So that is the main thing that I'm watching for at the moment. Things are definitely getting to, the oversold areas on a lot of coins, especially if you look at the DeFi pep. We just got Nexus sell signal, bearish divergence, stochastic RSI is having a swing down now as well. So maybe altcoins are going to take a little bit of a hit here, especially if Bitcoin breaks out and is really aggressive. But I would expect them still to go up in their USD value if Bitcoin does get its rally and then catch up after that. So yeah, that's the main thing I'm watching for at the moment, guys. Hopefully that helps. And yeah, I'll be looking for another entry if we come back here for that next rally up. And as always, I usually wait for a pin bar entry like this, or say like a bullish divergence, or just your standard Morningstar reversal off a key level like this would be my preferred entry. Other than that, always can add as well if I miss it on the breakout of this triangle pattern through here, or a breakout of 47K. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you like our content, guys, please give us a like and subscribe. And we have a 30-hour course which you can check out at marketmastery.io. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode.